Hi you guys, welcome to my food channel. For today's recipe or meal of the day, we are going to be making some jalapeno popper broccoli cheddar stuffed chicken breasts. So if you want to learn how to make these, just stay tuned. Trust me, you're going to want to learn this recipe. Mouth-watering, I know. Alright, now starting with our ingredients, we're going to do turkey bacon, cream cheese, chicken breasts, broccoli, a jalapeno, goya adobo, garlic salt, black pepper of course, and we are going to move on to our instructions. This is what we're going to do. First, we're going to start off with our chicken breast. We are going to go ahead and butterfly cut them. This is how I like to butterfly cut them. It's pretty much just cutting a little slit down the middle of the chicken breast. Make sure that you do this very carefully because you can cut yourself. I've cut myself about twice already trying to do this. It's a little tricky. So yeah, just make sure you butterfly cut it down the middle and you get the same amount of chicken on both sides, if that makes sense. So you just want to make sure you slice the chicken breast with your knife right down the middle, just like this. And I like to kind of like spread them a little bit, stretch them just a tiny bit, and take off any excess fat or anything like that. I don't really like, to do all that extra stuff. Now I'm gonna go ahead and season it with my garlic salt just a little bit. And we're going to set those aside and we're going to move on with the rest of our instructions. Moving forward, we are going to take one of our broccoli heads, because that's pretty much all we're going to use, is just one big broccoli head. We're going to remove all of the stems, leaving just tiny little bits of them. We're not going to need all of them. For this recipe, we're only going to need pretty much just the florets, the top of the broccoli. So here you're seeing me pretty much trim them all up into little pieces, and I am gonna chop them up until they're pretty bite-sized, I guess. So that's what you're gonna see me do here. Alright, moving forward, we are going to place our broccoli florets into a bowl just for the meantime, because we are actually going to place all of our ingredients into a big Ziploc bag. You will see why in just a couple of minutes. So we are going to move on with the rest of our instructions. I'm going to set that aside. Alright, we're going to take our jalapeno and we are going to start slicing it, or should I say dicing it, more like dicing it. I am using a fork. Trust me, I am not a weenie. I do not mind touching the jalapeno, but since I do have a newborn, I need to be very careful when I touch any type of pepper, just so that way I don't, risk getting it anywhere near her mouth or anything like that. So yes, here you're seeing me pretty much chop up this bad boy and dicing it into little pieces. If you don't want to do the entire jalapeno, I mean, you could just do half, but realistically you cannot even taste it. It's not spicy whatsoever. If you're not a spice person, you can substitute it for bell pepper instead. And if you don't want to do any pepper at all, you don't have to. Now here I am placing it in the same bowl as the broccoli. So here I am moving on with our turkey bacon. I did prefer to do turkey bacon only because I feel like this recipe is already greasy enough. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to do an alternative. It tastes just as delicious as if you were to use the regular bacon. I prefer turkey bacon since it is a little bit healthier. I mean, why not? Right here you're seeing me take my strips of bacon and layering them all at pretty much the same level. They're all in a straight line. It's easier for me to cut them since they all come slanted in the package. So we are going to pretty much cut them right down the middle and just start dicing them. Adding our garlic salt right here. We are going to add a little bit of pepper. It's all to your liking, guys. You do not have to do the same amount as I did. Now we are going to place all of our ingredients inside a big Ziploc bag. It's best if you do the biggest one you have, only because that way we're going to have more room to mush all of our ingredients together. And trust me, it is a lot easier if you do it this way. So for this recipe, I ended up using all of my cream cheese. I want to say it's 16 ounces. I'm not so sure, but I ended up using my whole entire thing of cream cheese anyway. Go ahead and mush it and mush it and mush it until you get it all at a pretty good consistency. It's all going to be stuck together at the end. That's what you want. Now we say hello to our chicken breasts again. We bring them back and now we're going to season them. I ended up doing a little bit of paprika only to get them a little bit on the red side. This is not necessary if you don't want to. You don't have to. I just like how they look red, and I mean, you can't even taste the paprika realistically. Here I added a little bit of oil and I am massaging the chicken. That way whenever they fry in the pan, it gets everything, you know, cooked thoroughly in the inside as far as like the stuffing. Now I am going to take my Goya adobo and I am going to season the outer layer. And I am going to add just a little bit more paprika, do the same steps as I did in the inner layer. And here is the fun part. So we are going to begin stuffing our chicken with our filling, or our stuffing, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to take a generous amount of filling and pretty much just place it on one of the sides of the chicken breast. So like I said, when you butterfly cut it, it should be split into two sides. So we do mainly want to just get it on one of the sides of the chicken, since we are going to be closing it and adding a little bit of toothpicks on the outer layer. That way the chicken breast can close all the way. So you are going to see me here do that to my other chicken breast as well. Now this step is completely optional. If you don't want to add cheese, you do not have to, but it's best if you do add cheese, because trust me, you will not regret it. It's going to be so much more delicious. I know a lot of people don't like cheese, so if you don't want to, you don't have to, but if you do want to, then go ahead and add your cheese. I went ahead and did the taco mix cheese, I think. So like I said, we're going to do the exact same thing to my next chicken breast. And we're going to close our chicken breasts up, and we're going to go ahead and add our toothpicks. You want to make sure you try very hard to close the chicken breast as best as you can, because whenever you're frying it or putting it in the oven, yes, we're going to place some in the oven as well. You don't want the stuffing to come out and then stick to the bottom of the pan. So yeah, just go ahead and pin them in really well, just like this. Now here I have already placed them inside of my pan with a little bit of oil. Now we're only going to leave them in here for just a short amount of time. We're only going to have them in here just enough for us to flip them on both sides and for them to be brown enough. We're going to close them with our lid, and we're back. Now we are going to just flip them on the other side and let them just pretty much cook just lightly. We are not going to cook our chicken all the way because they are going to finish cooking inside of the oven. So here you're seeing me just flip them around. Look how delicious they look. OMG, my mouth's watering again. So yeah, we're gonna just leave them in here just for a little bit longer. Now that they are ready, brown on the both sides, we are going to move them into our conventional oven. I think that's what it's called. Do not quote me on that. If I said it incorrect, I'm sorry. It's just one of the mini ovens. If you don't have a mini oven, I mean, you could just place it into your big oven. It's probably gonna cook a little faster because shoot, these conventional ovens are pretty slow. So here you're just seeing me move them onto the tray. I already sprayed my pan with the nonstick spray. All right, here we're gonna set our temperature to 350, between 350 to 400, and we are going to keep it here for about 40 minutes or so. You can keep going back consistently if you feel like it needs more time. So just keep checking it. Do flip the chicken breast frequently. And just make sure that the chicken breasts are cooking thoroughly on both sides. Like I said, if you need to add more time, because not all ovens are, not all ovens cook at the same pace. So if you need more time, just keep adding more time until you see them get pretty brown. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what they need to look like just right now. Alright, ya llegado el fin. This is how our chicken should look. Nice and juicy and pretty brown. I mean, you can keep it a little bit crispier, it's up to you. But this is what our chicken should look like, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I would recommend you guys making a side salad or rice pilaf or a pasta, or if you guys simply just want to have your chicken alone, you guys may. But trust me, you do want to have it with some type of carb aside. Not that it doesn't already have enough carbs inside, but just saying, just to make it a little bit more delicious. And please do not forget to take those toothpicks out, not unless you want to stab your tongue during dinner. And yeah, guys, I truly hope that you guys enjoyed this recipe. Like I already said, I appreciate all the support that I keep getting on my personal page. I will be uploading more recipes for you guys. Don't worry. If you guys have any video suggestions, please do not hesitate to let me know, and I will see you guys in our next recipe. Thank you and goodbye.